Hey guys, Alex here with Serious Goose Games. Welcome back to our Unity Tactics RPG tutorial. In the last video, we set up pathfinding so our units could follow a path that was a bit more realistic and a bit more in line with the tactics game genre. Today we're going to set up a struct to store our character stats and then modify some values based on those stats. To start off, let's open up our unit script. And inside here, we want to add a value for attack range. So public int attack range. And by default, we're going to set this to be equal to 1. Go ahead and save that and head back to Unity. Now we're going to create a new script. So right click, create monobehavior script, and we're going to call this unit stats, and then go ahead and open that up. Now structs are pretty cool because they act as a data container and we can use them in a ton of different ways. So what we're going to do is instead of a class, this is going to be a struct. It's not going to inherit from monobehavior, so we can get rid of start and update. And inside here, we're going to create a public float called speed and a public float called perception. Now, these are, the names of these variables are the names of the stats I'm going to be using, and what they're going to be used for can change. It can vary. Basically, perception is going to influence the attack range. So if you're more perceptive, you might be able to attack further. You can name it whatever. You can change it. If you have a different value you want to use here, go for it. If you want static attack ranges based on like maybe class or items, that kind of thing. But I just want to show you how this can work. And it can also still work with kind of that item-based restriction on attack range. Like I am planning on making it so if you're attacking with a sword, you're only going to have an attack range of 1. Whereas if you have a ranged weapon, your perception is going to come into play there. So in that vein, when we introduce classes, we might have a class that focuses on ranged weapons and a class that focuses on melee weapons, and the ranged weapon class might have much higher perception than the melee class. Now, when we create a struct, we need to make sure we have a constructor, and this is going to be a public unit stats, and we're going to pass in a float called new speed and a float called new perception. And then inside here, we're going to set speed to be equal to new speed and perception to be equal to new perception. Now let's head back to our unit script, and we're going to create a reference to these stats. So public unit stats called stats, and then we're going to bring back the start method. So void start. Inside here, we're going to set stats to be equal to new stats or new unit stats. And because we have a constructor, we need to pass in some values. And for now, I'm just going to make it random. So we're going to do random.range 0 to 100 for both. Next, we're going to set our movement range. This will be equal to mathf.round_to_int, and we're going to do our stats.speed times 0.1f. Then we're going to grab our attack range. This will be equal to mathf.round_to_int, and this will be stats.perception times 0.05f. And then we don't want our attack to be less than 1, so we're going to clamp it. So attack range is equal to mathf.clamp. We'll pass in our attack range. The minimum value will be 1, and then we'll do int.max value for the max value. And the last thing we're going to do is hop back onto unit stats. If we want to be able to see the stats in the inspector or do some other data persistence related things, we want to mark this as serializable. So we're going to just put the system.serializable tag up at the top of our unit stats. So go ahead and save that, save everything, and head back to Unity. So back in Unity, now when I select one of my units and we look in the inspector, we can see there's a stats dropdown now. So if I hit that dropdown arrow, we can see I have speed and perception. And if I hit play, we can see our speed and our perception have both been randomly generated to be at 53 and 57. So our movement range is 1/10 of that. So that gives us a movement range of 5 and an attack range of 3. And if I select this unit, we can see the movement range is 5. And if I select this little guy here, you can see his movement range is real short. So if I select him, we can see that my movement range is only 2, and that's because my speed is only 16. So he's not going anywhere anytime soon. And then our third unit has a speed of 74, so a movement range of 7. So this will be like a cavalry unit or something. So even though we have changed the values and we are randomly generating them at runtime, our movement, our pathfinding, everything is still working. So in the next video, we're going to start making it so that we can attack. And the first step to that is displaying our attack range. That's all for today, though. So if you like this video, hit like so other devs can find this series, and subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. Let me know in the comments how you would derive different values from our stats. Like, we're going to start attacking soon. How would you derive health? I like using multiple stats for deriving values to help units feel a little more unique. Like, movement range will be impacted by item weight, but that negative impact can be mitigated with a higher strength stat. As always, thanks for watching. I'm Alex with Serious Goose Games, and I'll see you in the next one.